that's one of the biggest selling points for this Weebil S for me, because kind of packed down, literally it takes up the same footprint as a sheet of A4 paper. The footprint, obviously not side profile, because that would be really weird. So let me just show you this. I've currently just put the tripod leg things on, which you can see here. See them at the bottom there. That just screws in. You pop it on a panel here. Let me just move the Lego head out the way for this purposes of demonstrations, because it would feel a bit weird if I knocked everything off. Although I do think it would be quite funny. One of the joys of having the, he says, one of the joys of having the wireless go with the lav mic on is I can move around and everything still be okay. So so this is the Weebil S. On this, I mean, I'll show you as I go along. On each of the axes, there's a little red button, a little red switch, which locks all these into place. That works really well when you're setting this up, because to be fair, you want it level and flat whilst you're doing this, because it just makes life a little bit simpler, because sometimes setting these up can be really complicated. But tonight, they're not going to be. So you set this up on here like this, like so. Hopefully you can see that okay. So the first thing we want to do is bring this arm up. So if I'll just show you there. There's that little red switch there. Pop that down. This arm's now loose. Look at that. There's your hypnosis there. Look into my eyes. Now, what I want to do for this is if you just bring it up here and then lock it again, it locks that into place there. And then there's one of these on the top here. Watch this as I drop this one. That one swings down there. I don't need to lock this one into place because it is swinging, it is hanging at the kind of level that I want. Now, the purpose of this is this quick release plate here, which I've already mounted to the bottom there. It's just one screw that goes in there. Now, this is simple. With this, we want to balance this out so that that bit isn't tipping backwards and forwards, and through that bit, it isn't going left or right. So move this plate out so you can get your camera in. Slide it forward. And then you just keep adjusting it. There we go. That to me feels about right for the forwards and backwards. Looks about level, job's about done. Now I need to do this side to make sure that's okay. So as I do this here, that's probably going to slide to one of the sides. There you go. You can see it's very right heavy. So I just slide it that way. And there's just a little arm under here, which you just twist that arm and it tightens it in place. So we know it's too heavy on the right. So we just slide it over to the left a bit more, a touch more. Look at that. That I believe is spot on. Slide that little arm back over. That's now locked into place, forwards and backwards, left and right. So now I can unlock this. Perfect. That's unlocked. There's just this last one on here, which is it that way. But because this is already balanced now, that should be okay. If I unlock this one, he says, unlock this one, job's a good one. Now what we can do, I'm going to have to move this round so you can kind of get an idea of this. So I want you to see the screen, hopefully. It's just here. It should light up. You should be able to see it if you look really closely. Yeah. So power button on the side here. You see the little screen light up there? That just brings up the logo, and watch the camera move. It's on pan and follow. There's different modes you can have for this. I like it on this one because I want it to take the up and down movement, but the side to side, I like to keep following on because it just looks epic, I believe. Now, once you get into it, it's great to, he says, go into the menu, press down button for the menu. It says motor, select that. Auto. Now this will auto tune the motors in all the arms. You see a little bit of a shake going on here. That's it just tuning itself up. Checked okay. We're all good to go now. So now I can take this up here and you can see it will follow. Now, this is the thing I like about this, that you'll find that it kind of follows that left and right, up and down. And look at that. I find that in itself quite hypnotic. It's just a lovely motion. And that's great. It is absolutely fantastic. And here's a cool thing that I love about it. If you want to get it to go straight forward, to bring it back forward again, you've got this little trigger on the front here. You press this trigger and it doesn't matter where it's pointing, it will bring it straight to point and straight front. There's loads of different modes. There we go. There's loads of different modes on that. So this is my favorite way to hold this camera. So if I'm in an event and I've got this, look at that. It just looks epic. It looks like I've got some really high-end video equipment. I mean, this is top equipment. This is brilliant stuff. But you kind of hold it here and you can really swoop in, swoop out, and that lens just stays perfect and fluid at all times. I absolutely love this as a bit of kit. Now, this isn't necessarily for streaming, obviously, but again, it gives you an idea of the quality of this, how it kind of stays front and center, and it looks absolutely amazing. I love it with the low slung mode here, because again, as you're coming along, if you're filming a wedding or something like that, or even like a sporting event where stuff's moving fast, to be able to have that down by your side, and then as something happens, you can just bring it right up like that. The effect and the visuals you get from that are absolutely amazing. Now, what's great is, again, if you want to put this on a tripod, you can, but this little handle here works itself as a tripod. You know, the legs kind of spring out here. You can screw this into the bottom, like so. And this acts like a great extension for that tripod as well. If you really want to get high up, you can do that. But also spread those legs, put it on the side, and you've got yourself a nice little tripod like that. Now, sometimes if I'm at an event, I'll not even have the power on for this. I'll take the power off and then just use this as a tripod pointing forward at anything that is happening. This is the Zhiyun Weebil S.